I can't do my video. I have to change this. Look at this. Look at this. I can't do this. I can't do it. I have to change this. Get him. This fucking guy. Actually, you know what? You know what? Let's read this article here. Actually, no. We'll start with our main story. You've heard it by now, right? You've heard it by now. You've heard it by now. Hang on, I'm not quite ready yet. There we go. All right, the music is totally appropriate too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do a little reading. This morning, Bobby Kotick. This morning, Dateline today, 4:30, by CC Jiang from Kotaku, and you know what Kotaku's, Kotaku is Spanish for journalism. Meh journalism. But this morning, Bobby Kotick held an all-hands meeting with Activision Blizzard employees to address Microsoft's acquisition of the company for $68.7 billion. Let's put things in context here already. They actually talk about, I read something earlier about kind of like, recently Take-Two bought Zynga. I used to work at Zynga for what it's worth. Take-Two bought Zynga for $10, $12 billion. That's a lot of money. The $68.7 billion is greater than some nations in the world's gross domestic product. Gross domestic product. I just think about it. It's not just Activision. I mean, it's ABK, right? It's all of the King shit. It's all of the Call of Duty shit. It's all of the Blizzard properties. It's all of the little studios that make up, like I said, Call of Duty. And this is, leave it to Bobby to do this. Bobby figured out the best way for him to get out of this. Sell the company. He owns stock in this, so he sells it. This is probably slightly discounted. This $68.7 billion, right? Slightly fucking discounted. Quickly moved on this. All right, seriously, we haven't even got past the first sentence. Let me see your chat here. Bobby fucking getting. My prediction is that he'll make over $800 million when this is all said and done. From his stock and his exit from the company. I say 800. I think he's going for $1 billion. I really think he's trying to get $1 billion personally out of all of this when it's said and done. He stated that Microsoft would be trying to retain as many of our people as possible. Who takes over Blizzard? Who takes over Blizzard? The whole idea of Microsoft, someone at Microsoft coming in and taking over Blizzard Entertainment is mind-boggling. Fucking mind-boggling. Yeah, eventually he'll be gone, right? Like, we're gonna hear some bullshit, but we'll try to cut through it here, right? Actually, let me do this. Ooh, look, we're super pro now. Look at us, we are super pro. Oh, you know what we can also do? We can also increase the size of this so that everyone at home can see this. By the way, please enjoy all the fucking ads over here. Fucking jeez. Oh. Oh, look at this. Oh, buy ads. Goodbye ads. How about this? All right, yeah. Sources suggest rank-and-file employees did not appreciate the session, in which Kotick was typically unwilling to address pressing issues like his company's culture of sexual harassment. As originally reported, thank you. Yeah, there we go. As originally reported by the Washington Post, this fireside chat took place over video conference. And he fielded questions which were said to be submitted by employees via email and were read by the chief people officer. Kodak was late for the session and it was only 16 minutes long. This is how much Bobby Kotick fucking respects this process. Kodak was late and it was 16 minutes long. These companies could not give a flying fuck about people. You are a commodity in this business. When business and creativity meet, creativity is the little spoon in that relationship. Rare and blessed are the occasions where they're both equal. By the way, the whole process of like submitting questions and having them answer it is not unusual. They did that shit all the time at EA anyway. But the senior executives were not late for their own meeting. And it was longer than 16 minutes. He's just such a cunt. This Bobby Kotick is just such a horrible human being. He's just such trash. Such fucking human flotsam and jetsam. An anonymous Activision Blizzard employee told Kotaku they knew other employees submitted questions about gender discrimination and the Raven QA, but they never got posed to Kodak. Of course not. That's the whole point. We'll submit them. We'll filter them. That's the whole point of what they do that. I can tell you that my commitment to the company is to remain in my role, Kotick told employees. Once the deal closes, what I've committed to Microsoft is I will stay as long as necessary to ensure that we have a great integration and a great transition. As soon as that fucking ink is dry, as soon as it's closed, he is so fucking gone. Microsoft does not want this fucker to stay around. Bobby doesn't want to stay around. All I can imagine is that he's going to take his $800+ million and roll on to the next thing, because people are going to look at this and go, look what he did. He sold that fucking company. Look at that. Because it's never enough. It's never enough for people like this. 400 million, 800 million. Does that make me lazy? That I got to a certain point and I'm like, I don't need any more. I'm good. We can float. We can start to do other things. Is that bad? Am I a bad person for wanting that? Yeah, Dartsy, how about that, huh? How about that? Yeah, you're here just in time for gaming news. That wacky, kooky gaming news. A new feature here on a revamping. We're in the midst of construction here, so bear with. Bear with. Some pineapple boobly. I might have another beer with you here in a bit. Employees are taking this messaging as further indication that Kotick may not remain as CEO once the acquisition is complete. One can be only happy that he takes that $800 million worth of cancer and fucking goes. I'm sure there'll be someone just as bad, if not worse, to replace him. There always is. Bobby Kotick ain't nobody special, by the way. Seriously, do you hear these people talk sometimes? Like, there's this billionaire here recently, talking about an issue relating to human rights, about things going on in China. I'm not making a political statement here. The only statement I'm making is just how out of fucking touch some of these human beings are, because people who get billions of dollars suddenly know everything. Well, this particular issue to this particular billionaire on Bloomberg was below his rate, was below his threshold of giving a shit. And he said exactly that. Not actually, correction. Doesn't care. That's a quote. Doesn't care. Where is Bobby Kotick a video game guru? Right? He's just business, right? It's just business. However, it also means that he could likely remain the head of Activision Blizzard for at least another year. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to play. We're not going back to WoW until that motherfucker is gone, baby, gone. In the meantime, the developers have to endure the leadership of a man who has shown, and here we go, it stops being a fucking article and now starts preaching. Look, I get that. But ma'am, keep to the facts. It is not a proof that he has shown complete disregard. That is your opinion. That is my opinion. It's a lot of people's opinions. And honestly, it is fact. But you're losing people like me. Washington Post notes that its sources were additionally concerned by Kotick's comment that the transition is going to be smooth because Microsoft is committed to trying to retain as many of our people as possible. Of course they're going to be layoffs. There are going to be redundancies. There are going to be people at Microsoft that are dying to get their hands on Blizzard Entertainment properties. Dying to get their hands on that shit, right? Yeah, I fucking hate it. Just stick to the facts. Stop preaching. Just give me information. Let me do the preaching. Let me fucking do the preaching here. He said some very surface kind things about how much he cares for the teams. Of course they do. He would address the concerns submitted. Well, okay, now we're getting into the people starting to grind that axe, right? Instead, he said that Microsoft was interested in the metaverse and joked about how the staff would not be forced to switch to Microsoft Teams. Yeah, joking is a great thing to do right now, Bobby. You piece of... Kotaku source noted that none of the employees actually cared about any of those things. Okay, thank you for sharing conjecture from an employee. Again, you know, from someone who's pretty good at hyperbole. There's a lot of fucking hyperbole in this goddamn article. Let's try to filter that out, stick to what's going on here. All right, so we're just getting into... Yeah, I mean, honestly, right? If it lasted 16 minutes, they all could have read a fucking press release. No mention of the strike, lawsuit, or any of the continuing issues. At what point does someone stand up and scream in the middle? Actually, Bobby can't hear because it's a fucking video conference. See, at least the executives at EA had the fucking ball. Well, again, COVID, right? But they had the fucking balls to show up. Andrew Wilson showed up. Samantha Ryan showed up. Like intelligence analysts agreed. According to a source from Raven Software, while Kotick is wasting work... Okay, all right, we're done with the preaching here. All right. Here's the thing that I want to bring to your attention. I'm not going to make you sit through another Kotaku article. I just want to get to this right here. The last fucking... This right here, ladies and gentlemen. A quick scan of various independent sources shows that Kotick holding anywhere from 3.9 to 4.3 million shares in Activision Blizzard, amounting to upward of a 408.5 million windfall at the 95 a share on offer by Microsoft. Not even factoring in the hundreds and millions in potential benefits he's been promised for just leaving the company. Right? I say 800 million, Because like his full, it probably, I don't know if it'll be 800 million after it's said and done. It might be $750,000 though. It really might be that high. Because like the worst case scenario where he's fired without cause, he gets $400 million from Blizzard, from that company. Paul Sams gave me 55 when I started at Blizzard. 55 a year. Do you reckon this purchase will change anything at all? No. 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 There will be... It's being addressed. It will be addressed. I just don't think this is going to go away. In fact, you know what? I would not be really surprised if the government doesn't get involved in this. This is crazy huge, right? Think about this. Microvision. I mean, I can't help. I mean, seriously, my crazy brain shit's already kicked in. I'm calling this Microvision. Microsoft Activision. And Activision is Activision, Activision and all the shit associated, all those kind of companies. Then there's Blizzard. And then there's King. Like, let's not forget fucking Candy Crush. Go ask your mom. Right? He's going to make over $500 million easy on this. He's going to make over $500 million when it's all said and done. How does he stay in that organization? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what you can get away with in this world if you have absolutely no shame. Absolutely no fucking shame. This is it. This whole article you can go read on Kotaku, whatever. This is the reason right here. Right here. At the end of it all, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, all of these games. Candy Crush, all this San Francisco style game development for mobile space, right? And all the Bobby Juniors are going to get theirs too. They're not going to get their $500 to $750 million. But they're going to get theirs. If I still had stock in this shit, I would have gotten mine too. I'm out. Easy money, Spin. Good to see you. How you doing? Easy money. Ninja Bite, you bet. You bet. I just kind of wrapped up the first part of gaming news. Gaming news. I'm going to get caught up on your guys' chat though. Yeah, so let's think about this, Arcturus. What are the competitors out there? Sony, for sure, right? I guess there's like Konami. I mean, all these others, right? But Ubisoft, yeah. Ubisoft is just as bad, right? It's fucking AAA development too. Are we getting to the quadruple A development? Nintendo, thank you. Square Enix, thank you. Tencent, thank you, Lipnos. That's absolutely correct. Fuck. I mean, Tencent, so you got Riot, you got all the fucking A. Yeah. There's competition out there, but it's starting to fucking silo up, right? Buyout, good or bad? It's certainly good for the people who have the stock in these companies, right? There are people who work at Activision Blizzard, who have been there for a very long time, who are probably very happy at this announcement. I was tickled shitless when I found out that Tencent finalized the last bits. Believe me. You know who that buyout for Tencent, when Riot, back in the day when Tencent bought out the rest of Riot? You know who that was good for? It wasn't good for the majority of those employees who were there. It was good for people who came early like me. Very good. Right? There are people who've been working at this organization for 15, 20 years. They haven't sold their Blizzard shares or Activision Blizzard stock, right? It's not bad, but you know what? Unless there's been a stock split in the last 10 years, and for all I know, there probably has been, right? I sold my shares at 100 and some. Yeah, and EA. Of course, EA, right? Yeah. Absolutely right. There we go. There, good or bad? Let me answer your question. Overall, I think it's bad. Overall, I think it's bad. You know what? Actually, can I rephrase that? It's more of the same. And I think the current state is bad, so it's more of the same, right? More of the same, parentheses, bad, end parentheses. It's good for the people who have sugar and skin in the game. It's not good for people who work on video games, right? The rank and file. It's not good. It's scary, right? It's scary to be an Activision ABK, like a 3 or 4 year employee of ABK. 5, maybe even 10 years at this point, right? It is in the game spin. I will be very happy when Bobby goes. And I listen, there's always a fucker behind him, ready to be Bobby plus. There will always be a human being like that. But at this particular point, I would just like to see this particular asshole go. Get gone. Take your money and go. You've won the game, dude. Don't spike the fucking ball in the end zone, you ignorant asshole. Oh God, Kotaku, you suck. Sorry. All right. We're not done with gaming news. How long have we been doing this? For 20 minutes? 20 minutes? That's not bad. One more, and we'll get back to War Tales. Is that okay? Sneaky Bard. It's probably still good for Blizzard employees in terms of work environment. Yeah. Oh God, they have Bethesda. Oh my God. The power of Skyrim, the power of Elder Scrolls and World of Warcraft. That's all part of the same company now, by the way. Fingers crossed. Maybe I could stand to be a little bit of maybe I could stand to have a little bit of optimism. I mean, to me, right? I'm peanut gallery throwing shit in here. I hope my friends that are still there are either one, considerably wealthier than they were yesterday, or when the news came out, right? I mean, they haven't gotten any money. Like, I heard the news and it was from when I left Riot in 2009, it was about 5 to 6 years before the whole kit and caboodle was over. Would you like to listen to this article? Let's listen to this article.
Many game developers hate NFTs too. NFTs have been a contentious topic in the video game industry as of late.
Oh, have they?
Fans did not respond well to Ubisoft's NFT plans, and the outcry to NFTs in STALKER 2.
Oh boy. Oh boy, have we seen this? Have we seen this announced trailer here? I might just do that. Ugh. We got a minute. I got a minute 20 for this. Energy. energy efficient. Yeah, like blockchain is so horrible for the environment, as I have been told and have read and have. I remain unconvinced that NFTs are nothing more than a microtransaction store gone crazy to the nth degree. They basically combine the power of a microtransaction store with rarity and scarcity, right? And it's a proven market. It's fucking proven that there are people out there who want the biggest e-peen, right? It's a microtransaction for nothing, right? Like, but here's the trick, right? At the core, right? Is it nothing? Are those store mounts nothing? Clearly for a number of those people, those store mounts in World of Warcraft are pretty fucking huge to them, right? They're pretty important. Those collectors and whatnot, right? The company that bought the copy of Dune for NFTs for yeah. I have to hang on a second. Hang on. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna go get something. Hang on. Here they are. Amuse yourselves. Sorry. Here, hang on. Oh, you know, while we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your patience here. Hang on. I wanted to get a real cloth for my glasses rather than sit here and use my shirt over and over again, because I want to be able to read the gaming news. Our newest feature here on Bubba Sure Show, gaming news. That weird and wacky gaming news. Yeah, I was looking for shit. I was throwing shit around here. Actually, here, hang on. I got this.
Gaming news. How's that one? That weird and wacky gaming news.
Gaming news. Is that one better? Gaming news.
Gaming news. How about gaming news here, right? NFTs are fucking horrible, by the way. I'm still researching. Here's why I wanted to read this article, though. Hang on.
Seriously, we have to totally incorporate these.
I can't hear it. I can hear it when I'm not streaming, I guess. I can't hear it, which is great because I think it'll drive me crazy.
All right, hang on. Let's read this. Let's listen to this article. I can sit here and interrupt this dude. Let's finish this video, though, right? They just give you control when you feel what? good. I have a sound. Here we go. I have a sound for this.
No prison can hold me. Let's get on with it. Huzzah.
Heart of Chernobyl was so vehement that the game's developers decided to cancel them entirely. But it's not just video game fans that are skeptical
Apparently not, Major Milosh.
of the new technology. Many game developers have similarly strong feelings, according to the Game Developers Conference annual survey, which was released Thursday. When asked how they felt about the possibility of cryptocurrency or NFTs in games, a few called it the future of gaming, the survey said. However, a vast majority of respondents spoke out against both.
It's the future of gaming whether you want it or not. Because you had better fucking believe that the NFT is so business oriented. You better believe that there are so many fucking business oriented people in the gaming industry right now typing to one another with just one hand on the fucking keyboard. Do you know what I mean? They are creaming their jeans over how much money they think that they're going to make off this kind of shit. Because it's not enough to just play the game anymore. And maybe I'm partly responsible for that, right? Because I want to build like deep, vast worlds that people can get lost in, right? So why not commoditize that? Why not commoditize that, right? It is the future of microtransactions, actually. What do you think Microvision, which is what I'm going to call Microsoft and Activision from now on, by the way. What do you think Microvision is going to do on the NFT front? Right? Because they have to respond to Ubisoft. They can't not do NFTs, right? That's kind of the mentality of AAA development, especially when business is driving it, right? There's not someone that's raising a fist. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there, right? But there's not a whole bunch of people raising a fist going, I love NFT so much, and I'm good at what I do, and I'm going to put my heart and soul into it so that it's a great experience. It's enriching. That these NFTs really feel like that they have value and that they don't have to be ridiculous. What percentage of the people currently driving NFT projects think like that? Do you think it's half? Do you think it's a third? I don't even think it's a quarter. Especially, I mean, like, fuck. NFTs are probably being driven by that San Francisco mobile style game development, right? And let me tell you something. The conversation I had with Nick Rounds on his podcast is 100% right. Like working at Zynga, some game developers might turn their nose up at, oh, you're working for a mobile game. Guess what? I didn't crunch that much, if at all, for Zynga. I did. There were nights I stayed late, but it was the exception and not the rule. And they were crazy on the perks, but that's something else. That's something different, right? Sorry, I meant to do that whole scene like that, but I was a little slow on the draw there. All right, here we go.
Practices noting their potential for scams, overall monetization concerns, and the environmental impact. How this hasn't been identified as a pyramid scheme is beyond me. Many quotes directly from developers were scathing.
I don't know if it unto itself is a pyramid scheme, right? Because the whole idea of a pyramid scheme, right, is the idea that you do need to get people in underneath you, right? So who's at the top of the, if it is a pyramid scheme, who's at the top? The video game, Bobby Kotick is at the top, right? Bobby Kotick is at the top of the pyramid scheme for Activision NFTs. if they were ever to do active, but now they're microvision. So, oh my God, Farmville, where your tractor serial number is 0001. There are people who would pay top money for that. I'm not kidding.
How this hasn't been identified as a pyramid scheme is beyond me, one wrote. I'd rather not endorse burning a rainforest down to confirm someone owns a JPEG, said another. Burn them to the ground. Ban everyone involved in them. I work at an NFT company currently and am quitting to get away from it, said another. Not all were so critical. One positive response called cryptocurrency/NFTs the wave of the future. But according to the survey's data, 70% of respondents said their studio had no interest in NFTs.
And those studios will fall to the wayside at one point or another. There is no stopping this NFT shit. Only a major catastrophe, I think, to Bitcoin, right? And I don't wish any people who are investing in Bitcoin or doing any of that ill will at any stretch. Good, more power to you, right? I of all the people in this world, I certainly understand the value of putting value into something that other people might just simply not ever see the value of. But it's all it's going to, I mean, it's at least in the AAA space, that's all it's going to really become until something shitty happens, I think. Maybe these studios are small. They'll get eaten up. And again, right? Little fish get eaten by the bigger fish. Ethereum has 70% of the market for NFTs, but that has gone down 20% in the last year. There's all sorts of stuff. Maybe somewhere on an account somewhere, I have a tiny bit of Bitcoin back in the day, but I'll go look at some point. Oh, here we go.
Which could indicate that we won't see a lot of gaming NFTs in the near future.
No. You're going to see plenty because that 70% of respondents said their studio, you need to know what studio they're coming from, right? Like the smaller the studio, probably the bigger the chance that they're not going to be in NFTs or they're specifically getting into NFTs as opposed to like, oh, now let's try this NFT shit. I mean, I'm sure there are others out there that might fall into that category, but regardless, right? Ubisoft is doing it. Tell me that there aren't NFT teams at EA. Tell me that there aren't NFT teams at Microsoft. Tell me there aren't NFT teams at ABK.
The survey also showed growing support for unionization in the industry, a topic that has come to the forefront as workers have protested Activision Blizzard and after Vodeo Games organized the first certified video game studio union in North America. 55% of respondents said game industry workers should unionize, the highest amount in the 10 years GDC has conducted the survey, and up from 51% in 2021 and 23% said talks about unionizing have happened where they work. While only 18% believe the industry actually will unionize, 36% said their companies were supportive of union talk.
Well, interesting. I would be interested to see the size of we've kind of gone off the rail here and not talking about. I mean, I got this article because I wanted to talk about NFTs with you, and now we've kind of gone into game unionization of game companies, and I have plenty of opinions about that, but I don't necessarily want to talk to you about that tonight. Right? This is actually more than just this. At this point, they're kind of just talking about basically the things that people were talking about in GDC. So toxicity, unionization, NFTs, some of the things that were discussed here, I guess. Oh, we're done. Oh, hi. We're done. Gaming news is over.